Good morning, people. It is Monday the 8th. No, Monday the 3rd. I jumped my dates. Um, I have some interesting news. This morning I woke up, or I should say my alarm woke me up at 8:30. Yeah, it's my day off and I'm waking up that early. Something's wrong with me. No, actually, I found that with yesterday, because yesterday I woke up on my own fairly early and I felt great. I mean, yeah, I woke up with the usual morning aches and pains because I slept wrong or something happened or tossing and turning too much during the nighttime. So I I decided that I'm sorry, folks. I want my tea closer to me. I decided that if I'm gonna start doing things right and healthy and whatnot, um, I need to get up at a decent hour and not sleep until 10, 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon or morning. Um, need to go to bed at a regular hour. And of course, with my current job, that's just smart because I'm having to be at work at like as early as 9:30. The one day, well, Friday, this past Friday. Um, so it's kind of like, why not just get up every day at a fairly decent hour? Let's say I do have to go to work on a regular basis at 9:30 in the morning. It's smart to get up between 8 and 8:30 just so I can be up and ready to go. But I woke up this morning, and because of the fact that I didn't have everything that I needed for the start of the week, because, well, their week schedule starts on Monday, not Sunday. So I was like, okay, if I skip Sunday and not do something from the Nordic Way on Sunday, I'll be fine as long as I start today. Well, I did. I got up this morning and I looked at my written, meal plan and went, okay, this morning is supposed to be, and I was like, omelet. And I remembered, I wrote the page number for the book. Um, so I went, I looked at it, I went, oh, this is a simple ham and cheese omelet. Oh, wait a minute, it's got a twist. Ham and cheese omelet with toasted rolled oats. And basically what it calls for is you toast your oats while you're making your egg mixture. And then you put a little bit of olive oil and then the egg and then cook that like an omelet and then put ham and cheese on top, inside that. Well, I made it. The only problem I had was folding the egg. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to learn how to fold an omelet. But otherwise, two simple eggs with some ham and cheese and rolled oats. Very delicious, very filling. Mom tried it and she liked it. And I gave her I don't know, I gave her about half of what I had on my plate just to let her eat it, and I was filled with just the half that I kept for myself. I'm full. I'm not full to the point of being stuffed. I'm full to the point of being satisfied, and that's the whole idea behind this eating plan is to eat to satisfaction, not to eat to be stuffed. So you want to eat enough to be full, but not to the point of feeling like you've overeaten because you're now stuffed. So tonight's dinner is supposed to be another omelet, but on the side, instead of having like ham and cheese, basically, on the side of the omelet is supposed to be mackerel. Mom and I are not exactly fans of the idea of eating mackerel or anything that looks like a sardine. So we opted to basically use fish sticks. Now, here's the fun thing though. The meal would have been 2 to 1 carb, or not 2 to 1, 1 to 1 carb to protein ratio because the mackerel and the egg are supposed to be your proteins. It's probably going to be a 2 to 1 because of the breading on the fish stick. So we're gonna just ever so slightly cheat. But the thing is, for the most part, we will probably be eating healthier than normal if it was just the two of us pulling a box of Hamburger Helper and a package of ground beef out. Um, so, yeah, a small cheat, but not a drastic, severe cheat to the point where that we're totally off the rails. We're just ever so slight detour due to and it's codfish. We're using codfish sticks, basically, is what it is. And according to the information I've been reading, as long as you're not eating an imbalance, basically, or you're eating, or as long as you're not eating a lot of processed foods, you're still pretty much, doing the right thing. I just don't know if they have fish sticks in Scandinavia or Norway, any of the Nordic states, countries, whatever you want to call them. But today is another day I have off. I have plans to clean up. And what I mean by clean up, for anybody who's wondering, is my kitchen is not like in such a state of disaster that it needs a whole revamping. It just needs like some picking up, cleaning off the counters, doing the floors, putting some stuff away that hasn't been put away. Just that kind of cleaning. It's not like, oh my, he's cleaning. Well, how bad is his house? No. It's not that my house is a rampant, out of control disaster. It's I guess I'll use my Aunt Lee's term. It's lived in. Um, so I just cleaning up in the kitchen, cleaning up and organizing stuff in the living room. And it's not really that much organizing. It's more like there's some boxes in the living room from stuff that we've gotten, or Jerry's gotten, I should say. Some deliveries for Jerry. And I'm just going to move them from the living room to probably to the guest room, because it's not a lot of stuff. It's just a couple boxes that I want out of the way so I can clean. And once I'm done cleaning, I'll either A, put them back where they were, or B, just leave them in the guest room, since I'll be in and out of here, this room. I'll be in and out here, on a regular basis, because this is basically my home base. This is where I come to do some Bible study, do some writing, do little things that I just don't want to be distracted by things. Which this right here, not doing the YouTube, my phone. It has been a major distraction for me, and I think I'm gonna follow an idea that somebody gave me, was when I come in here to basically do my thing, whether it's my Bible studies or just general writing down memories and whatnot. I have a book that's basically called Your Story, and it asks you questions and you answer those questions to the best of your ability, honestly. Try to be as honest as possible. That way there's a written history of your life type thing. I think the word is memoirs. But anyhow, they told me that when I come in here to do whatever I'm going to do and I don't want to be disturbed, one, let everybody in the house know, do not disturb me. And two, turn my phone off, or leave my phone in a different room, out of earshot, out of eye shot. Out of sight, out of mind is basically what they're trying to, what that is you put it out of your sights and you don't worry about it. Of course, right now with Jerry Ann being out of state, or out of the area, away, in Texas, basically, I have my concerns, I have my worries, and it's not that I don't trust her, because I do trust her. It's just right now, and I know that if something were to happen, her friends would give me a buzz, but being the person I am, if you're part of my inner circle, which is basically my close friends and family members, I worry about them constantly. Um, I have a cousin right now who, against all better judgment in my brain, but that's just me, and I let them be them, but I just kind of wish that he would have talked to me before making a what I would consider a rash decision. Is he's going through some stuff where I wish he would have called to talk to me so I can talk him off the ledge, basically. So knowing what's going on with him kind of makes me go, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you try that? But I can only sit there and go, okay, well, I'm here for you if you need me, type thing. There's just a lot of stuff that I worry about, but I don't let it interfere with my decisions and my path and my whatever you want to call it. But okay, wow. Even though that meal was very filling, my stomach's doing a lot of talking, and I probably know why. My stomach's finally going, you're putting health food down here? How do we deal with that? You haven't eaten really healthy in a very long time. And even what I ate wasn't exactly, well, 100% healthy. I am sorry. I did not mean to be yawning in front of everybody. That just, again, came out of the blue. Other than this morning's meal and what we're planning on having for dinner, lunch is going to be a salad. Yes, folks, you just heard it, salad. I bought salad fixings, or greens, I should say. You saw that on my shopping video yesterday. I am going to take a bowl, put some of that salad in there, and then I'm going to slice up a chunk of ham or a piece of ham and put some dressing on it and call it lunch. Some people would call it chef salad, but it's not totally chef salad because there's no turkey and there will be no cheese. Ooh. I wonder what grated Parmesan. No, because I want to put my Asian toasted sesame dressing on there. But anyhow, things are going good. I've got battle plans for moving forward with this. I've also got I can't say that it's an actual event, but I'm reading a book that corresponds or works alongside. It actually doesn't work alongside. It's a separate book, but I have a book that is it's a self-help book, but the gentleman who read it went through a lot of stuff, and he read it. I just realized I said read it. The gentleman who wrote it went through a lot of stuff that gave him the inspiration to do a men's self-help book to help men build up their bodies and become more Viking-like in a physical and mental stance. Basically, it's called The Modern Viking, and I kind of need it, not just because of the fact that I've become soft in so many different ways, both physically and mentally, but I think it's something that basically what I've been reading is kind of like, oh my word, it's literally like talking to me. It's talking about me and how I've allowed myself to become soft, and I have not tried to do any kind of physical exercise or anything like that since, well, I think the last time I actually did any kind of physical exercise or anything like that for my body, and I gave up too soon because it was a little too I gave up not because of the factor that I couldn't handle it mentally. I gave up because of the factor my body couldn't handle the rigors of military training. Now, did that mean I was going to quit because you can't quit military training? No. I kept going until my body basically said no. I kept on pushing myself right along with everybody else until my body was like, no. And I developed medical issues. Basically, a combination of my back was giving out, and I was developing what they call shin splints. Now, for those of you who do not know exactly what shin splints are, the way it was described to me by the medical examiner was the muscle tissue was separating from the bone mass. So basically, it was a separation of muscle and bone. Now, what that really is, I don't know. If you're a medical profession and you know what shin splints are, you can probably describe it better than I can. But that was what got me out of the military, was the fact that I just could not deal with the physical rigors of the training. Now, do I regret the factor that I didn't take care of myself before that? Yes. Do I regret the fact that I couldn't make it through basic training? Yes. I will give myself kudos and points for the fact that I went into the military and I did my best that I could to go through the basic training. So it's not like I copped out, tapped out, whatever. I got a general discharge, which basically means that you didn't do anything wrong. There was nothing you did that got you kicked out of the military. It was it wasn't a full medical discharge. It was a general medical discharge, which is basically you could not handle medically the training that you had to go through. So, I mean, I got depressed and I not that I let myself go and just ate myself into a pit of despair. I came home knowing full well that I did my best. And it wasn't until, granted, yeah, until I moved to New York, mentally, I was not exactly a happy person. I wasn't manic or anything like that. I was just like, oh, what am I going to do? And of course, then I decided to basically go and spend a summer working in Yellowstone National Park. And that was fun. It helped my spirits out a lot because of the job was good. The environment was great. I mean, I was in my element. If it wasn't for other issues like the factor that the season ended, I would have stayed up there permanently. But when the season that I got hired for was ending, and I did not get invited to stay for the wintertime. Winter jobs in Yellowstone National Park are very coveted because of the fact that you get to spend more of your time playing in the snow and doing things other than working. But it's also one of those by invitation type situations. You can apply for it, but unless they get their quota filled by people who want to stay for the wintertime, you don't get a job there. Depressing? Yeah, not really. I mean, I saw pictures of people in Yellowstone National Park in the after the plow had come through to clear the road, the main road that goes from north to south, and didn't have to worry about mountain passes where they can deal with avalanches. The snowdrift was definitely a good 9+ feet tall, high, and I just kind of went, nah, I could easily get lost in that. I don't know. That and the fact that the temperature at nighttime can drop into the well -40 or lower, and I was just like, that's a little too cold for me right now. So things happen for the reason why they happen, and I'm happy. I can't really complain. Yeah, there are things that I look back at and go, well, if I would have done this, this, and this differently, where would I be now? But that's the past. You can't dwell on it. Sorry, I have an itch on my shin. Anyhow, I took a picture of the finished omelet. Sent it to Joanne. She said it looked yummy. Like I said, Mom ate a good half of what I had on my plate. I ate the other half. It was very filling. Mom was surprised that it did not almost instantaneously irritate her stomach. She said, give it a little while to see how it affects her stomach, because she's got an ultra sensitive. Now, one of the things I didn't tell Mom was the recipe does call for salt and pepper to taste. I told her I put salt in there. She tasted it and it was fine. But what I didn't tell her was I also put a dash of black pepper, which she's not a big fan of pepper because it burns her tongue. And I'm like, the problem with, and I think this is the same problem with me and Jerry Ann, because we don't use spices like we used to, is she probably hasn't used spices since I stopped cooking for her when I moved to New York 20 years ago. No. Yeah, 20 years ago. 20 years ago on the 5th. No, 21 years ago on the 5th, because I moved out there August. Was it August 5th? Well, I moved out there in August of 99. We got married August 5th of 2000. So me and Jerry have been together for almost 30 years. Well, we've been together for, not 30, geez, Jim. We've been together for almost 21 years. Married 20, been together for 21. So it's been a long while since I've cooked for Mom. And Mom will not use pepper in her food when she cooks for herself. So she hasn't had spices in 21 years. Me and Jerry have only not used our normal quota of spices for 7 since we moved to Missouri. So I noticed the other day when I was eating something. Oh, I was eating my, I'd gone to my local grocery store that has a sushi bar inside the store. And I bought a package of sushi for my lunch. And I love the savory shrimp roll that they make. And I was eating it. I'm like, wow, the spicy mayo they put on there is a little spicier than normal. And then I realized, yeah, Jim, you haven't eaten this in a year or two because you haven't really been working there and at the grocery store. And I realized, yeah, my tolerance for spicy food is starting to die out. And I'm like, I don't like that because I like my spicy food. It helps me in more ways than one. But right now, the immediate future, I was trying to look for the word. Right now, the immediate future looks good. And I'm hoping that if the immediate future, health-wise, is looking good, hopefully the extended period will look even better. And if that's the case, and we start getting healthier, I start losing body fat. I don't want to lose my weight. This is the thing. I want to get into a program, and I don't want to buy into it. I don't want to have one of these get built quick, because I know all these schemes and plans and, oh yeah, build your body weight up, build your muscle mass up, build this up, and it will only take 30 days. Okay. After that 30 days, are you guaranteeing that I won't regain stomach fat and it will go back to its old self? Or are you going to guarantee that I stay that way? Well, here's the thing is, 30 days, a lot of people are thinking, oh, yeah, 30 days, I can do this for 30 days and then go back to my old self. No. I've read and learned and strongly believe that if you want to get healthy, you want to get physically fit, you want to change your body from flabby softness to muscular hardness, it's not a 30-day thing. It's a life thing. You have to be willing to commit to the change and stay on course to keep what you've built up. Because if you don't continue on the course and the regimen of exercises and health food, dietary foods or health foods or life, the lifestyle basically, you have a large chance of going back to who you were. Because if your mindset is, I'm going to do this for 30 days, I'm going to get healthy and physically fit, and then I'm just going to go back to myself, my old ways. No, it's not going to work. You'll just return to what you were. You can't go forward and then turn around to go back. You have to go forward and stay the course. You have to continue with the new lifestyle. You can't just go, oh, I'm going to live this lifestyle for X amount of time and then go back to being whomever I hated. And that's a strong word. I'm sorry, I don't mean to use that strong word there, hate. But the thing is, I don't hate who I am. No, I don't hate who I am. I dislike what I've become. Now, what I've become is basically soft. Just grab and go, eat whatever. Don't pay attention to my body saying, "Hey, you're messing us over." No, I don't like that. I don't like what I've become because of that. So this is why I've chosen to make these changes. And these changes aren't just temporary fly-by-night changes. These are permanent, lasting, lifelong changes that I want to make. Now, some people might try to discourage me. Some people might try to remind me of the fact that in the past I have wanted or attempted to make certain changes for the better and never, either A, never did them, or B, got tired and turned back. It will be tough. It will be tiresome. It will be physically and mentally draining and physically and mentally exhausting until I get past that. Now, what I'm trying to do is for a positive change. Now, the physical aspect, the physical changes, they're going to be grueling. They're going to be difficult. They're going to be painful. They're going to cause a lot of discomfort until my body and my muscles and everything about my physical body, my physical self, gets past the pain and the exhaustion and the desire to basically turn around. I'm going to have to fight not only myself the whole time, but I'm probably going to have to fight the world around me the whole time. And the eating plan, well, the only person I was worried about when it came to the eating aspect, the food aspect, was Mom. Because Mom is picky. But the thing is, Mom literally said when she ate that omelet that it was not only delicious and filling, but it was flavorful in all the right ways for her. She at first didn't think she would like the idea of toasted rolled oats in an egg, but she said that it was good. She only had maybe one or two problems when she couldn't. She was having one or two problems with a couple of the oat kernels because of the way they were. But for the most part, she enjoyed the flavor and the taste and the whole nine. And I was like, that's great. I'm gonna probably have that again some other day. One of the other things that Mom was concerned about, but I wasn't concerned about because I don't worry about how many days in a row I eat chicken or any other type of meat product. But she likes the idea of being able to have chicken one day, then beef, then pork, and then chicken again, not chicken 3 days in a row. Well, first off, you got to realize for the most part, the diet of the the Nordic diet, and I don't mean the book, I mean just the Nordic people and themselves, their lands and their environment, they didn't have very much cow. In fact, they didn't have cow at all up until they started taking cows from England. Um, Most of their diet is basically fish, poultry, pork, and I saw it in the book, and I went, "Oh wow, I haven't had veal in a long time." Now we all know veal is baby cow. Um, for those of you who are vegan, um, I'm sorry if you don't like me talking about meat products. My cousin Janet would be appalled by the fact of me eating so much meat. But like I said to her, if God did not want us to eat meat, He would not have given us canines and incisors, teeth designed for cutting meat products. We would have teeth like a cow. She still didn't get it, but that's all right. Of course, she does wonder why she's got health problems, and I'm like, yeah, because you're not eating enough meat-based protein. But that's her hang up, not mine. Uh, but yeah, it looks like right now, as for the food aspect of my changes, I'm not going to get too much resistance. Jerry Ann sounds like she's willing to try it, but I won't know until I try to cook for her. Of course, she'll love the fact that I'm home to cook and I'm cooking whatever. 9 times out of 10, if somebody cooks for her, she don't care. She don't care what it is, as long as, somebody else is cooking. She will probably be my biggest drag or hang up when it comes to the physical or mental changes. But I think after reading certain information last night, once the changes begin to happen and I have a better, not just a better physical body, but a better outlook and whatnot, she'll be happy. There are certain things that I read that when it comes to the physical changes that they're talking about, yeah, that information is between me and her and behind closed doors. That's all I'm going to say. Of course, they do talk about and they warn about steroids and shortcuts and things that they can help you build the body mass, but they have negative side effects, and they warn about them and basically try to deter you from doing, steroids. And when I read that, I was just that's not going to be a problem. That will not be a problem. I mean, the only steroids that I'm half tempted to or not half tempted, but half willing to do is the steroids that the doctor may prescribe that's in nose sprays or other medications that unfortunately I did have to take certain medications when I was a teenager because of my severe allergies and whatnot that had steroids, and I didn't exactly like the effects that they had on me because there was a lot of negative side effects, and I was just like, I will never do that stuff ever again, whether it's prescribed or not, because it might have worked and helped me with my allergies and whatnot, but the aggression, the anger, the negative side effects of steroids. Just kind of went, where did that person come from, and how do we get rid of them? Type situation. So, yeah, I won't be doing anything like that, but I will be trying to do as much physical fitness exercises as I can. I gotta read and look into it a little bit more. I may have to juggle my budget for a membership with the Family Center, which has everything from physical fitness equipment to um, the pool to the track to the um, resistance pool. Yeah, the resistance pool is what they call it. So I may have to look into that unless there is some information in the book on how to do it at home, because as the book was telling me that a lot of what we look at when we look at each other is we're visual people, and men are especially very visual people. I look at myself sometimes and I am like literally probably one of the reasons why I don't like walking past the full length mirror that's in my bedroom is I see my gut and I go, I just get mad at myself. And I have nobody to blame. I mean, I can sit there and go, yeah, I was thin and whatnot before I moved to New York, and then I got to New York and I was eating all the pasta and the starchy foods, and that went straight to my gut. Well, the food wasn't your fault because you weren't cooking. It was your fault that you ate it and didn't just go and cook your own food. Um, and then it's also my own fault because the fact that I didn't try to do more physical stuff. I mean, yeah, I stood on my feet and legs for long periods of time, and they're probably the most muscular part of my body. Um, Jerry can Jerry can contest to that. We got into a combination of wrestling and goofing off, and I had my legs locked around her midsection, and she could not believe how strong my legs were. And I was just like, that's because I used to walk everywhere, and I was on my feet. I'm on my feet all the time, and you have to have strong legs to hold you up for long periods of time. So now, if I can just get the rest of my body as strong as my legs seem to be, I could lose my gut and get up. Not looking for a six pack. I'm just looking to be trim and not have flabby body parts. But that will be here hopefully in the next couple weeks or after Jerry gets home. In fact, right now, as for Jerry is concerned and getting her home, the plan is for me to basically try to ask for the 17th, 18th, and 19th. Yeah, 17th, 18th, and 19th off, and maybe the 20th from my new job, which I'm lazy to do, but under the circumstances, it kind of needs to be done. So I can. The plan is to basically, we found a inexpensive flight via United Airlines to go from St. Louis to, I can't remember if it was Dallas or Houston, to fly down there and drive back up here. Now, she said she's willing to do the driving, but she wants me there just in case she starts having problems. And I'm like, that's fine. I'd rather be down there and in the car, and if you can somehow actually drive the 12-hour drive from Houston to here, so be it. But yes, I'd rather be in the car. So if for some reason your eyes need a break, especially in the middle of the day, I'm willing to drive in between cities or around cities. I don't want to go through cities. I don't want to have to deal with city traffic. So the plan is for me to go down there. She's going to try to drive as much as she can. And like I said, if she can drive us from the Houston area to the Arkansas side of Texarkana, I'm willing to drive from Texarkana to at least Little Rock, maybe around Little Rock instead of going through Little Rock, and up to the Missouri border. Because once we get up to the Missouri border, it's kind of like the roads are twisty and windy, and there's a couple spots on this particular road that I'm thinking about that's in Missouri, southern part of Missouri, that is the foothills of the Ozarks, and it's got a couple turns that I don't want to be driving those turns, because if a big rig decides to come from the opposite direction, I'm probably going to freak out and have to pull over and change my underwear. But yeah, I would rather be with her when she goes to drive home than her to try to drive home by herself with her. Her eyes are better. She's seeing fine. She does say that during the brighter parts of the day, even with sunglasses, her eyes start to not really hurt, but she can feel like the twinge in the back of her eye. That is basically a precursor for eye pain. I don't know how to describe it other than a twinge. And that's when I would be like, pull over, let's change spots. I'll drive for a little bit. Now, I've already driven for Dickies. I've done some deliveries. One particular most of them are here in town, so it's not a big deal. One particular delivery was for the next town over, north of that town. It was about a 15 to 20 minute drive. And if it wasn't for GPS, I would have probably gotten lost. Now, I know it wasn't to a private house or anything like that. It was to a company. In fact, I think we've only had to do one major mass delivery to to one of the retirement. Not really. It wasn't a full home. It was a community. They were having a party for somebody, and they wanted us to make a $300 delivery to the complex, to the I call it a complex, but each couple or each individual has their choice of either living in the big building or in individual homes. And even in the individual homes, they still had a caretaker that would come in and check on them, and maybe do some cleaning and fix meals or things like that. But yeah, we had to deliver to them. Sorry, I didn't mean to stutter. I just all of a sudden I couldn't get that word out. But we delivered to them, and it was the only time I think we've delivered to a facility like that, and not like a single meal to a guy that works at a car dealership, or a small delivery for Staples and basically businesses. But anyhow, it's a good job. I'm going to get my day started, as much as I kind of don't want to, but I have to, I need to, I should, all of the above. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Any questions or comments, go ahead and put them in the comment box. If you're not a subscriber and you want to subscribe, you can hit the subscribe button. How many times can I say that word? And once you've done that, a little bell will pop up, and you can click on that bell, and YouTube will let you know when I put in a new video. Until next time, have a good day. Bye.